Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Radha, Madhava Radha, Madhava Radhe Radhe, Jaya Radha, Shyam Sundar Radha, Shyam Sundar Radhe Radhe, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Haribol, Gaura Haribol, Gaura Haribol, Gaura Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so
Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, let me start with Mangalacharan. Hare Krishna to everyone. So let me just offer some prayers and then we will start the class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let me share the screen. Is it visible? My screen is visible?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. So welcome everyone to this evening session of Pastimes from Srimad Bhagwatam. So we are reading from Canto 4, chapter 17, entitled Maharaj Prithu becomes angry at the earth. So any of you would like to share what has been done? I mean, like what you have been hearing so far? Anybody? You all are attending, right? So we will go through today. Actually, there's nothing much today in the today's verses, but I thought we will revise till from the birth of Maharaj till chapter at the same time. But I just wanted to check. I mean, yesterday, what is the scene that is going on right now in this chapter? Anyone would like to?
Mataji, chapter 17 completed.
completed?
I have marked it, Mataji. I think so. Please let me check with others also. Because yesterday we started with 30th verse, chapter 17. 30.
Okay.
And we completed. It's only 36 verses, na?
37 verses, Mataji. Yeah, 36 verses.
Yeah,
Yes.
36 we finished and we have to start 18th chapter.
Oh, really? This is a news to me. Okay, no problem. Okay,
Sorry,
so
Mataji.
anyone would...
The speaker did not update to us because I had given them only till 33.
Yeah. No problem, Mataji, we'll manage.
Yeah.
It's okay, no problem.
No, so kindly put forward the message as much you complete because the next speaker will have an issue, no?
Yeah. Sure. I'll do that. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so I mean, at least so far, whatever has been done, what is the scene going on here? Because it's a continuation, right? The next chapter, it's not ended, right? Here in this chapter. So what is the scene that is going on right now in the story of Prithu Maharaj? What at least yes, Salome Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I see nobody's saying anything. I am the lowest in this whole class, but I just want to tell you what I recall, what I remember up until now. We discussed Prithu Maharaj that was going after Mother Earth because Mother Earth was not providing the means that she normally would. So he was upset that all the yagyas were being done and she was withholding them for herself. So when Prithu Maharaj took his bow and arrow and went after her, she ran like a deer and then she turned herself into a cow. And the reason for that is a cow is seen as a mother and holy. And she wanted Prithu Maharaj not to harm her. So yesterday Prabhu was saying, I was driving, so that I couldn't hear, everything. But what I took from yesterday's class is he was saying that we must fully surrender unto the Lord. And he talked about the three conditions that trouble us, Adi Devik, Adi Bautik, and Adi Atmik. So he spoke about that, and those will always, always bother us. So we must take shelter under the lotus feet of, Sadhu, Sangha, Sadhu, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras. So thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. Very beautifully summarized, Mataji. Thank you so much. So here, what is the scene that is happening? So I'll just little bit recap so that you all can recall again what's happening here. So in this chapter, the chapter began with the Maitreya asking a question that he's in the previous chapter, the Vidura asked Maitreya to about Prithu Maharaj, and he hears in the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura, and when Maitreya was speaking about Prithu Maharaj, he also heard the prayer, the glorification offered by the bards. Okay, so in that glorification, the Prithu had been glorified, telling that he's going to rule the country. I mean, rule the whole kingdom, and he's going to milk the earth. So many questions. I also don't recall right now. I was just going through. Just a minute. So yeah, so Vidura starts inquiring, why did Earth take the form of a cow? And then why, who has become the calf, and how the, what was the milking pot when Prithu was, milking the Mother Earth, who is in the form of cow. And he asked even, how Prithu had made the earth flat because it was uneven earlier and how it has become flat. So what destination did Prithu has attained after receiving jnana, knowledge and wisdom, even Vijnana from Sanat Kumar, because he has got a shiksha from Sanat Kumar. So he is asking to narrate all the glorious topics of King Prithu. Because King Prithu is none other than Shaktyavesh avatar of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he wanted to know about the Lord and Lord's incarnation. So what all Prithu had done over, in his reign, he was showing eagerness to know. So at that time, the Maitreya Muni will continue. So he will say that he will tell that being inspired by these Vidura's inquiries, he will start speaking about the Prithu Maharaj. So he says that, after King Prithu has, so he was, there are so many people who are suffering from hunger, but he has done a lot of sacrifices. So even after doing the sacrifices, when they were doing the sacrifices, some of the shares of the sacrifices usually go, as we already know, that some of the sacrifices will go to the demigods, and here some of the share was even given to the Mother Earth. But Mother Earth was not reciprocating, right? Like when the sacrifice was given to the demigods started reciprocating, but Mother Earth is not reciprocating. So he understands, because Prithu Maharaj is not an ordinary person. With his mystic power, he tries to see what is going wrong, where it is going wrong, because the citizens comes to him and tells, they plead him that, if they don't take care of them, they are going to die out of hunger. So then Prithu starts thinking, what should I do? Then he starts contemplating on what went wrong. Then he understands that Mother Earth has all the seeds which can produce, which can give a lot of natural produce for the citizens. But then she's withholding everything within herself, and she's not giving it. So that's when he becomes very angry. So he becomes like Rudra. And then he as Mataji has described very nicely, that he takes a bow and arrow, and he takes a chariot. On the chariot, he starts following the Mother Earth. So when Mother Earth comes to know that he wants to kill Mother Earth, so when he was in such a degree of anger, when he is about to kill Mother Earth will take the form of cow. That is just to save herself from the wrath of King Prithu. So that he will not be able to do anything to her. And then there is also element of compassion. Like usually a woman is not supposed to, even if she is sinful, if she has done some sinful activity, she is not supposed to be killed. So and similarly, she, even the cow is considered as a mother and holy, as Mataji said. So we are not supposed to kill cow. But we heard some stories, right, where cow is also killed. Anybody recalls? Especially the Supreme Lord killing the cow.
Bowel after me.
Arishtasur.
Arishtasur, correct.
Mm.
Yeah, correct. So, but does the Lord gave, did he show mercy to the Arishtasur? No, right? So the
No.
Lord knows, if why he did not leave, because why he did not show compassion there, because he
was
wants
a
to
demon.
annihilate all the miscreants. So he comes to this material world only to do pavitranaya sadhunam. Correct?
Vinashayasya dushkritam
Yeah,
dharma samsthapanaya sambhavami yuge.
yeah. But what is more important for him? he wants to annihilate the miscreants and he wants to protect the dharma. So that is his duty. So to uphold the dharma, he is ready to annihilate the miscreants. So even now, when he's seeing that everything is going haywire here, so he wanted to kill Mother Earth, even though she has taken the form of a cow. So then nothing, like she asks, she surrenders. Finally the Mother Earth surrenders, seeing the Lord is not going to, the Prithu Maharaj is not going to spare her. So when she understands that, actually she tells that, like, I thought you are a friend, how come you are trying to harm me? I'm a woman and you are not supposed to kill a woman. But he says, no, anybody who does a mistake, if a woman is also if she is a cruel person, then, and if she is only if the woman is also selfish, if she thinks about her own self maintenance, and if she is merciless, then that person a king can kill, and it is not considered as sinful activity. So he gives lot of answers. Okay, so even she tells that, if you kill me, then there will be no place, all of your children who are citizens of this entire world, entire universe, will fall in the Garbhodakshay ocean, right? When there is no earth, where they fall in the ocean. So but Prithu Maharaj says, I have mystic powers, I know how to save my citizens, so I can save. So she understands that now Prithu Maharaj is not going to listen. So she tries to take shelter of so many people, but nothing works for her. So she goes everywhere. Finally, she surrenders unto the lotus feet of Prithu Maharaj. So, but then she says that, once she surrenders, she also wants to pacify the Lord's anger first. So to pacify the Lord's anger, she actually, to invoke the compassion within the heart of the Lord. So she also says that, she also reminds the Lord of one of his incarnation. What is that?
Where he ate baby Krishna Damodar, where he ate the sand, the mud.
No. Yesterday you people have read, right? She addresses the Lord as Dhara Dhara. Remember the pastime of Varahadev. So she says, oh dear Lord, you see this.
Yes, Mataji. Four incarnations.
Yeah, Varahadev, in the form of Varahadev. So Adi Varaha. So she reminds him of the incarnation of Adi Varaha, where the Lord has saved Mother Earth to uphold the dharma. So now here he is going to, uh, uh, he is going to kill her, whereas previously he himself has saved. So she says, I'm confused about your actions. Like it is so bewildering. Because I am also one of the creations of your energies. I am composed of three modes of material nature, but I am very bewildered by your activities, and even I cannot understand your devotees' activities also. Lord activities is, anything transcendental is very difficult for a mundane person to understand, right? For a material living entity, how can we understand we have everything limited here in this material world. So how can a limited can understand unlimited? It is not possible. But it is possible only when the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, right? He says that in Bhagavad Gita 10.10, he says, I will reveal, I will reveal about myself by, I will give you the intelligence by which you can come to me. So Krishna, only the Lord, Supreme Lord, has to reveal about his own potencies, his own transcendental activities. Only then we can understand. Otherwise, we cannot understand. Okay, so continuing the conversation with Mara and mother cow. So we will go to the next chapter now. Oh, when it is slow, what's happening? One second, I'll stop sharing and then I'll share. What's wrong? When I share, it's so slow. What is it? Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we are going to read from chapter 18. Prithu Maharaj milks the earth planet. So now we'll see how Prithu Maharaj becomes pacified, and then it means that there is, so the title itself tells that there's a positive note, right? So Prithu Maharaj is milking the earth planet. So what happens here, we will see now. So anyone would like to read this, or should I read the shloka?
Shall I try, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Please go.
मैत्रेय उवाच इत्यं पृथुमभीष्टूय रुषा प्रस्फुरिताधरं पुनराहाव निर्भीता संस्थाभ्यात्मानमात्मनाम्.
Okay, Mataji.
Translation.
So, yeah.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great saint Maitreyi continued to address Vidura. My dear Vidura, at the time after the planet Earth finished her prayer, King Prithu was still not pacified and his lips trembled in great anger. Although the planet Earth was frightened, she made up her mind and began to speak as follows in order to convince the king. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here, even the Mother Earth has offered so many prayers, so much she was begging for the mercy of Prithu Maharaj, but Prithu Maharaj was not pacified. So he was still in anger. How do you know that? Because his lips was trembling. He was still in great anger on Mother Earth. So now the Mother Earth has become more frightened. Now she made up her mind, and now she is trying to convince the king again. Who raised some? Yeah. Sindhu Mataji,
Yes, Mataji. Pronounce it, please.
you can read, Mataji.
Text 2, shall I read?
Yes, Mataji.
सन्निगच्छाभिभो मन्युम् निबोधाशावितं च मे सर्वतः शारमादत्ते यथा मधुकरो बुधः. Translation by Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, please pacify your anger completely and hear patiently whatever I submit before you. Please turn your kind attention to this. I may be very poor, but a learned man takes the essence of knowledge from all the places, just as a bumblebee collects honey from each and every flower. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now here the Mother Earth is trying to pacify by telling the Lord that you are an intelligent person. So intelligent person should first, understand. Even though she's poor, he should try to understand and should get pacified from anger. So, and she is giving the example of a bumblebee. So, what does a bumblebee do? It goes from one flower to another flower, but it does not see anything else. It only sees the essence. So it only collects the essence, which is a honey. So it only collects the essence from every flower. Okay. Similarly, she is trying to tell the Lord that you just try to understand the essence of why I'm not able to produce the grains. So we will read further. Who is there next? Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Asmil loke tavamusmin munibhistattvadarshibhihi drishta yoga prayuktascha pumsam shreya prasidyate. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. To benefit all human society, not only in this life but in the next, the great seers and sages have prescribed various methods conducive to the prosperity of the people in general. Purport: Vedic civilization takes advantage of the perfect knowledge presented in the Vedas and presented by the great sages and Brahmanas for the benefit of human society. Vedic injunctions are known as Shruti, and the additional supplementary presentation of these principles as given by the great sages are known as Smriti. They follow the principles of Vedic instruction. Human society should take advantage of the instructions from both Shruti and Smriti. If one wants to advance in spiritual life, he must take these instructions and follow the principles. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami says that if one possesses himself as advanced in spiritual life but does not refer to the Shrutis and Smritis, he is simply a disturbance in society. One should follow the principles laid down in the Shruti and Smriti not only in one's spiritual life but in the material life as well. As far as human society is concerned, it should follow the Manu Smriti as well. For these laws are given by Manu, the father of mankind. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So here, Mother Earth is talking about the prescribed methods or proper methods or the knowledge that is presented in the Vedas. So she is telling that there are the great seers, the great sages have prescribed the proper methods by which people can attain prosperity not only in this life but in the next. So if you follow those prescribed methods and follow very genuinely, then you will achieve the results in this life and also you will get a better destination in the next life. So Prabhupada beautifully brings out the importance of us following the Vedic injunctions. So Prabhupada is telling that these Vedic injunctions, the Vedic civilization has given us a perfect knowledge in the form of Vedas, and then these Vedas actually are for the benefit of human society. And these Vedas are what they are divided into two. One is Shruti and one is Smriti. So if we follow these principles of Smriti and Shruti, then one can advance very nicely. So Prabhupada also talks he says that he quotes from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So he says that Srila Rupa Goswami, what does Rupa Goswami says? He says that you actually you're not, I mean, we may, how much ever we may think that we are advanced, but if your conduct is not according to the prescribed rules and regulations that is being laid out in the Vedic injunctions, then that advancement is only a fake advancement. So whatever you are faking, that you have good knowledge, everything. Like for example, the the Babas nowadays, the Kali Yuga Babas, what they say, they say that we are gods. But not even one thing they will follow according to the Smriti and Shrutis. They cannot follow. Even the four regulative principles, will they be able to follow it? That is very difficult. So actually, Prabhupada has simplified for all of us in this age of Kali, because we may not be able to follow everything in the Smritis and Shrutis. But whatever Prabhupada is given is like, it's like a summary of all of it. And he also given us like the main four pillars of dharma to follow, the four main pillars of dharma. So when we follow the four regulative principles, and when we chant and when we associate with devotees, everything will fall in place. So we are following actually Vedic injunctions only. So what does the Vedas say? Even they say that everyone has to read, has to remember the Lord. We have to identify ourselves as the servant of the Lord, right? So finally, like what we are doing by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are trying to revive our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord and trying to connect ours. I mean, trying to realize that we are just servants of the Supreme Lord, servant of the servant of Supreme Lord. So that way, Prabhupada has given a great what do you call, like that, a great, he has brought the great benefit to whole human society at large in this age of Kali. So Prabhupada is also mentioning that if you are if you are in a human society, then all the human beings has to follow Manu Samhita, which is given by Manu. So Manu Smriti as well. Or Manu Samhita. We all have heard about Manu Samhita. So all the human beings should follow the Manu Samhita. Okay. We'll read next. Okay, Sindhu Mataji. Will you read the
Mataji,
next
there is a
paragraph,
voice
Mataji?
break, Mataji.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Now I can hear you, but before there was a voice break.
Okay, something was lost. I mean, what did you hear? I mean, you did not hear
Nothing,
anything?
Mataji. No, no, no. I mean, you told Manu Smriti that was audible.
Oh, and before that?
Yeah. Before that,
Mataji,
yeah.
it was audible, Mataji.
Yeah. I mean, just the last when you called out the name, that was breaking.
Okay.
You called me, Mataji?
I was asking that, can you read the next paragraph?
Yes, sure. Second paragraph, Mataji.
Yes.
Second or third one?
Second one. This one.
Second. Sure. I'll read. Purport by text 3. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the Manusmriti, it is stated that a woman should not be given independence, but should be given protection by her father, husband, and elderly sons. In all circumstances, a woman should remain dependent upon some guardian. Presently, women are given full independence, like men, but actually we can see that such independent women were no happier than those women who are placed under guardians. If people follow the injunctions given by the great sages, Shrutis and Smritis, they can actually be happy in both this life and the next. Unfortunately, rascals are manufacturing so many ways and means to be happy. Everyone is inventing so many methods. Consequently, human society has lost standard ways of life, both materially and spiritually. And as a result, people are bewildered and there is no peace or happiness in the world. Although they are trying to solve the problems of human society in the United Nations, they are still baffled. Because they do not follow the liberated instructions of the Vedas, they are unhappy. Hare Krishna.
So Prabhupada is continuing to speak about, if you don't follow Vedic injunctions, what will happen? He is quoting an example of a woman being independent. So by now we all see in our society that women being totally independent, there are many problems. Like, earlier she is not protected, right? Like she is not under the, there are so many cases of divorces these days. That's because the woman is given too much of independence and she has not been given a proper guardian. She's not placed under a proper guardian. So she thinks, okay, what is there? So I can divorce and get married to another person. That is not our culture. That is not prescribed in the Vedas. So one has to follow the Vedas when we are living in a human society. So that's why Prabhupada is mentioning that human society has lost the standards in the way of living. And then here Prabhupada speaks about, he is again talking about the two words which are asmin and amusmin. So asmin means in this life and amusmin means in the next life. So Prabhupada is saying, unfortunately, in this age, even exalted professors and learned men believe that there is no next life, that everything is finished in this life. Since they are rascals and fools, what advice can they give? Still, they are passing as learned scholars and professors. In this verse, the word amusmin is very explicit. It is a duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will have profitable next life, such as a boy is educated in order to become happier later. One should be educated in this life in order to attain an eternal and prosperous life after death. It is therefore essential that people follow what is given in the Shrutis and Smritis to make sure that human mission is successful. So Prabhupada is very much stressing upon following the Vedic injunctions, wherein the understanding the knowledge of self and our eternal about our eternality and about the Supreme Lord, what is our connection between the Supreme Lord and ourselves, that is more important. Why? Like as Prabhupada is saying, see now, if you in this life, if you want to become happy, you may go through a material education. But if you also do not go through a spiritual education, then this material education is only for this lifetime. The spiritual education, when you leave a body, what goes along with us? Are we taking this the name and fame that he has earned by the education? Are we going to take our name and fame? No, right? Are we going to take our assets with us? No.
No,
Are we going
Mataji.
to take money with us? No, nothing comes along with us. Only the thing that comes along with us is our consciousness. So what we have to do, we have to refine our consciousness. How do we refine our consciousness? It all depends on the consciousness. Our next birth depends on the consciousness that we develop in this lifetime. So it is important to know the spiritual knowledge. When we cultivate the spiritual knowledge, when we cultivate Krishna consciousness in our life, then we understand that we are not this body, we are the spirit souls. We may not be able to fully realize it in this lifetime also sometimes, but at least we are in that path. Whatever endeavor we have done, it is not going to become waste. It's always going to come along with us for the next life also. So but otherwise what will happen, like you are just going through the chakra view of janma mrityu jara vyadi, that's it. And we don't understand. Sometimes my mother keeps telling, what is this life? It's just taking birth, dying, and disease, and die, and then again next life is there. No, 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 no. It's so difficult. But if I preach, okay, you should now chant more. You should understand that Lord is there. How much ever she will do that much only. She will not do extra endeavor, because they're so much tuned to their way of living, right? It is very difficult. But I'm just sharing an example. Like, it is very difficult when we become accustomed to um, our own way of living, and if we don't have that spiritual knowledge, if it doesn't come from the right person. See, I being a child, I cannot preach to the mother. For them it's very difficult. For our loved ones to preach, it is very difficult. But someone else can preach, and from whom she can have a frequency that she can listen to. Our own people preaching them is little difficult. So what I'm saying is, like, that education has to be given in some or the other way. Then they will be able to progress in their spiritual journey. Otherwise, we just remain in this material world and come back again to this material world, either in the form of human being or in another form. Okay, so we'll move on to the next shloka. Who will read the shloka? Any volunteers? Ambika Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Krishnamurti Prabhu, you can read.
Shall I try Mataji?
Yes. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Tan atishtati yah samyak upayan purvadarshitan avaraha shraddaya upetaha upeyan vindate ajanta upeyan vindate anjasaha. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. One who follows the principles and instructions enjoyed by the great stages of the past can... One second, Mataji. can utilize these instructions for the practical purposes. Such a person can verify easily, enjoy life and pleasures. Shall I read purport, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Go ahead.
The ways purport by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. The Vedic principles, Mahajano, Yena Gataha Sa Pantaha, urge us to follow in the footsteps of great liberated souls. In this way, we can receive benefit in both this life and the next, and we can also improve our material life. By following the principles laid down by great sages and saints of the past, we can very easily understand the aim of all life. The word avaraha means inexperienced. Is very significant in this verse. Every conditioned soul is inexperienced. Everyone is abodha jata, born a fool and rascal. In democratic government, at the present moment, all kinds of fools and rascals are making decisions. But what can they do? What is the result of their legislation? They enact something today just to whimsically repeal it tomorrow. One political party utilizes a country for one purpose, and the next moment another political party forms a different type of government and nullifies all the laws and regulations. This process of chewing the chewed, punah charvita charvanam, will never make human society happy. In order to make all human society happy and prosperous, we should accept the standard methods given by liberated persons. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. So in this verse, the result of following the Vedic principles has been given, right? So what is the result? By faithfully following such Vedic injunctions, the inexperienced person also can easily attain his desired results. Like, he can enjoy his life, and whatever his desires are there, it can be easily achieved. So this is the essence of this verse. So we will read the next verse, maybe next 1-2 verses, and then we'll wind up. Okay, text 5. Who will read? Any volunteers?
Shall I continue, Mataji?
Okay, Prabhu, you can also read.
Any participants, if they want to recite, let them, Mataji, ask. Or
Yeah,
otherwise, I will.
you read it. You read it now, Prabhu. Next, Sindhu Mataji can read the next verse.
Yeah, purport I'll read, Mataji, otherwise.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Tan adadhrutya yaha. Tan adadhrutya yo vidwan artanarabhate swayam tasya vibhicharantyarthartha arabjashta punaha. Hare Krishna Mataji. Please,
Translation,
Mataji,
you read.
translation.
You read the translation.
Okay. Translation by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada ki jai. A foolish person who manufactures his own ways and means through mental speculation and does not recognize the authority of the sages who laid down unimpeachable directions to simplify unsuccessful again and again in these attempts. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhu. So here in this verse, so the result of not following, the Vedic injunctions or ignoring the Vedic injunction is being told. So what is he saying? That if you don't follow, what you will do? We manufacture our own ways and means, right? With our mental speculation. By doing mental speculation, we will only form our own rules. And then we don't follow, we don't even acknowledge the authority of the sages. Even though they have given so many directions to us, but we simply don't consider them or regard them, right? So this is what is happening now, right? We see all these things happening in the Kali Yuga, right? People don't have faith in the sages, especially when they come in the because of genuine reasons also. But when they wear saffron and all, people start having doubts. And many people, they think, okay, God is there, even God is there in the everywhere, so I don't need to worship anyone. So, they think that, God is there everywhere, so I worship in my heart only. These kind of people also we come across. So it's like by their mental speculation, they are manufacturing their own ways of Vedic principles. And they don't follow the authorities of Vedas, who are the sages who have written all these injunctions. So Prabhupada mentions here, so because why a conditioned soul, has that tendency? Because we have 4 defects in us. So that's why, because of these 4 defects, what are those 4 defects? To commit mistake, and to become illusion, and to tendency to cheat others, and our senses are imperfect. So because of these 4 defects, we think whatever is coming, whatever are the real truth also, if someone brings to us, it is very difficult for us to accept. And consequently, but to overcome this, what we have to do? A conditioned soul has to take guidance from the liberated person. So Prabhupada is mentioning this Krishna conscious movement directly receives the instructions from Supreme Personality of Godhead via the persons who are strictly following his instructions. So through Guru Parampara, we are propagating this Krishna conscious movement. And the gurus from the Guru Parampara, they are actually following the instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead only. Even though the follower may not be a liberated person, but if he follows the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his actions are naturally liberated from the contamination of material nature. Even though we may have some impurity, we may not be a liberated person. Sometimes like Prithu Maharaj may not be born. Of course, we have a Prabhupada who is a Kshatriyavesh avatar, but otherwise, we may not have, people like Prabhupada. But the one who is following strictly the injunctions and the instructions given by Srila Prabhupada, if he is following whatever Prabhupada is saying, then it is as good as following the Krishna's instructions only, because Prabhupada has everything, whatever Prabhupada has told is exactly in line with the Vedic injunctions. So then what is he saying? So whatever we do, we naturally become liberated from the contamination of material nature. So we'll go to the next shloka. And then we'll summarize and close. Okay, who will read this? Yes, Sindhu Mataji, you go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Next verse or this one, Mataji? Purport?
This verse, this sixth verse.
Okay, there's the next verse. Okay. I'll read only the little translation. Time is actually 9.
Okay. Yeah, Mataji.
Text.
You read only translation. Okay.
Text looks. Pura Shishta hi Oshadhayo Brahmanaya Vishampate Pujyamana Maya Drishta Ashadhir Adrita Vratai. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear king, the seeds, roots, herbs, and grains which were created by Lord Brahma in the past and are now being used by non-devotees who are devoid of all the spiritual understanding.
So who is telling these things? This is being spoken by Mother Cow. Mother Earth in the form of cow. So she is telling all the seeds and the roots and the herbs and the grains that were there, which were actually created by the Lord Brahma in the past, they are now being used by non-devotees who does not have any spiritual understanding, who are doing only exploiting the mother nature. So we all have seen so many times, when you exploit the mother nature, she will also withdraw her mercy. Like, like for example, when Lord wants to see, sometimes, people will say that, why the Lord, why I'm not, like, why Lord does not come to me? Sinful people or miscreants, they may say that, ask the Lord to come and show himself to me, then only I'll believe that God exists. So for such arrogant people, does the Lord will get obliged to appear in front of them? No, right? So he chooses himself to hide himself from such people. Similarly, when there is a lot of atrocities that happens on the earth, the Mother Earth will choose to hide all the all the natural produce that she can give for the sustenance of the human society. So she will just give. That's why, this is all because of there is a direct connection of this with the um, administrative society. So if the kings and the administrators, they are not following the spiritual injunctions, if they are trying to exploit Mother Nature, and they are not doing any sacrifices, they are not at all spiritual, then Mother Earth will withdraw. So that's what she's trying to tell, that she is not going to give. If she is being misused, so she is not going to give anything to the material, to the people in the society. I think what is she saying here? So she's saying all necessities grown on earth. Prabhupada is giving a purport. He says that all necessities grown on earth, like fruits, flowers, trees, grains, and animals and animal byproducts, they were actually created for use in sacrifice for the satisfaction of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, right? So Krishna is a proprietor of everything. So whatever is coming from the earth, coming on the earth, it has to go back to him. He has to be satisfied, right? But if that is not being done, then if this production is checked by the earth itself when it is misused by non-devotees who have no spiritual goals. So everything belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and everything can be used for his satisfactions. Things should not be used for the sense gratification of living entities. This is the whole plan of material nature according to the directions of this material nature. That's why we see wherever there is a drought, right? The places where there is a lot of drought and famine and all that, then you can actually study the culture of the the ruling party over there, or the who is ruling over there. You can see that they will not do, they will be against the Supreme Lord. Such people, when there's a lot of degradation in their administration, so because of that, the whole whole country will suffer. So the words asadbihi and adruta vrathai are important. Asadbihi means refers to non-devotees, and the non-devotees means they can be either dushkritina, moodaha, naradama, and maya prithak jnanaha. So who have lost their knowledge and the power of illusory energy. So those who are miscreants, rascals, and asses, lowest of mankind, they are all come under non-devotees. So they are also called Grihavrita, whereas the devotees are called Dhritavrata. They are called Grihavrita because their whole life is entire life is revolved around the Griha, because they are Grihamedis. So whereas the devotees are Dhritavrata. The whole Vedic plan is that the misguided conditioned souls who have come to lord it over material nature should be trained to become Dhritavrata. So this is the whole goal, soul and whole goal of the Supreme Lord. Why did we come here? Mainly to reform ourselves so that we become Dhritavrata, we become devotees of the Lord. So this means they should take a vow to satisfy their senses or enjoy material life only by satisfying the senses of Supreme Lord. Rishikesha, Rishikena Sevanam. So only by satisfying the Supreme Lord, senses of the Supreme Lord, one gets satisfied. That we should understand. So the word yajna indicates Lord Krishna. Okay. In modern times, Kali Yuga, however, people have forgotten Vishnu altogether and they conduct their activities for sense gratification. Such people will gradually become poverty-stricken, for they cannot use things which are to be enjoyed by the Supreme Lord for their own sense gratification. If they continue like this, they will ultimately be a state of poverty and no grains, fruits, or flowers will be produced. Indeed, it is stated in 12th canto of Bhagwatam, at the end of Kali Yuga, people will be so polluted that there will be no longer be any grains, wheat, sugarcane, or milk. You see, there's no produce at all by the material nature, by the Mother Earth at the end of Kali Yuga. This is how it is going to be polluted. So we already see that people are only trying to satisfy their senses. See, before COVID, situation was different. During COVID, the situation was different. And after COVID, if you see, the moment the COVID was open, I mean, like it is gone. Now everyone is spending so much lavishly. Earlier, in our days, in our childhood days, if a parents wants to go for any place, like any recreation place, the recreation place for us would be one tirtha yatra. We would go to some Tirupati or some other place just to see the Lord. That used to be there. But nowadays, the holiday spots are only Switzerland, New Zealand, I don't know what all lands, but so many lands. They only want to go outside. That is how people are trying to, enjoy their senses. They're earning also so much lavishly and they're spending also so much lavishly just for their own sense gratification. But nobody is diverting their attention towards, following the Vedic injunctions or divert. For the spirituality, there's very less that they are giving importance to. But at least one good thing is our Prime Minister is, as a dharmic person. So he is doing a lot of good things and he is trying to bring awareness in the people of this country to follow the Lord and, to follow Vedic injunctions, etc. So just to summarize, till what we have read today in this chapter. So first verse, like we have seen that how Prithu was unsatisfied. So he was still angry at Mother Earth and he was proceeding to kill Mother Earth. He was not satisfied with the prayers of Mother Earth. Then Mother Earth says that, please try to control your anger and hear patiently what I'm going to say, because you should seek the essence. And she gave an example of a bumblebee. And then she goes on telling that how the prescribed methods, by following the prescribed methods, one can achieve prosperity in this life and also in the next life. And then she talks about what are the results of following these prescribed methods. So if whoever follows the prescribed methods, even an inexperienced person will attain his desired results. And then she says what happens when you ignore these Vedic injunctions. When you ignore these Vedic injunctions, he will remain repeatedly unsuccessful, right? He becomes repeatedly unsuccessful because who will ignore those messages? All fools and rascals that we have read, right? And then in this shloka, in the last shloka, 6th shloka, so she is saying that because all the seeds, herbs, and grains are being used by the non-devotees, so divide of spiritual activities. So she's just telling that all these grains are used. So that is what she's trying to give an example, giving the reasoning that why she's not able to produce the grains, because people are exploiting her. Unscrupulous people are there still on this material world who are exploiting her. That's why she's kept within herself. She's not releasing them. And then she's going to give a few more reasons, and then she will also explain how the remedy of for this problem also, because now the king Prithu is a very pious king. Earlier king, who was the earlier king? Remember? Who remembers?
Vena.
Yudhishthir.
Yeah. Mataji, in this story, it is Vena. It is only Vena. So who was a very unscrupulous king earlier. So he stole all the sacrifices and all that. So now Prithu Maharaj was born. He was directly born. He's not like a kid. Born with born, and he is again as a couple. They have come as a couple. He's also married. With a couple, he appeared in this material world. So now he is very pious king. So when the pious king is there, then again earth has to give back all those produces back to the material nature, material world, right? So the material nature now she will also give the solution to get back all the produce. Okay. Any questions? Any thoughts? Any comments? Anybody wants to share anything? Your own experiences?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Mataji. Now alone.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, after reading this last verse, the Mother Earth is not supporting the non-devotees. Is it not, Mataji? Nowadays, almost
correct.
majority of the people were
See,
non-devotees.
Prabhu, we also should see. We should also see what is meant by non-devotees. Prabhupada has given very clear definition of non-devotees. He said non-devotees include, has been described in Bhagavad Gita as these people. So only these people, don't consider everybody else. Sometimes we consider our own Garka people also as non-devotees, but actually they are also following some kind of worship, which demigod worship is also, they are also worshippers. They are not devotees of Supreme Lord Krishna, but they also believe in the Lord. Okay, non-devotees here means they don't believe in the Lord at all. Okay, Prabhu. Just giving an
only thing is in any means, if they were worshipping the demigods or Supreme Lord, everything, they were all the devotees, of course.
Yes.
Is it not, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
Okay. If so, I am thought like that if all any very few peoples were in Krishna consciousness, they were worshipping Supreme Lord. Of course, anyhow, by hook or crook, he may be a non-vegetarian or in any manner. They were all in one way or the other way. They were worshipping.
Yeah, they are believing in the Lord.
Demigods, of course. Okay, Mataji. Okay. Hare Krishna.
They are also they are also devotees, but a Vaishnava is one who actually only worships the Supreme Lord.
Supreme Lord. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, Salome Mataji or Sindhu Mataji, someone has raised. Anybody wants to share or ask any question?
Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Salome Mataji. Yes.
Can you hear me? So Mataji,
Yes,
what I
Mataji.
want to know is, when Mother Earth held back all the produce from the non-devotees, what did the devotees have? Because they were also not provided for, right?
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. Correct. So what happens is when there is too much of atrocities, then for example, in this story itself, you see Vena, all the Brahmins, they all wanted to perform sacrifices, right? They were against Vena. She knows that, Mother Earth knows that she should not be, she knows that all the Brahmanas were at least they are pious and they did not want to stop sacrificial ceremonies. But because of the pressure from the king, they had to stop. So whatever it is, now even if you are a good person, but if you are following the instructions of a bad, then you also has to go through a certain portion of karma, right? You got it, Mataji?
Yes, so what I'm hearing you say, Mataji, is that even the devotees had to suffer some karma, maybe from their previous births. So they also suffer together with the non-devotees. Is that what I'm hearing you
Yeah,
saying?
but if they are forced to follow, if they are following the the king, the impious king, the injunctions laid by impious king, the king, then they will also be subjugated. But you know what the beauty of it is, like when actually in Pavitranaya Sadhunam shloka, more than killing the miscreants, the Lord more wants to help the devotees. He comes, actually, he takes incarnation to help the devotees. That's when the Lord incarnates. So when he sees, along with the miscreants, even the devotees are also getting suffered. It's very natural, Mataji, because when the society is fully polluted, even the Vaishnavas gets affected. Even the good people get affected by it. But then when it grows too much, then the Lord will take, at that point of time, he understands that my devotees need protection. So to protect the devotees, he comes first. Killing the miscreants is the next. That's the hope for all of us. So even the devotees may have to undergo the problem, like in Russia, the war that is happening. Even the devotees had to face it, right? Because of the political, whatever that political issues. But even the devotees has to. But Lord is very kind and compassionate, so he tries to help them in whatever ways possible. Right, Mataji? You got my point?
And
Thank you
also
so
for the
much,
devotees,
Mataji. Yes, it's very clear.
and also for the devotees, it's mercy, no, Mataji. They never tell it as a problem. It's
Yeah, but for themselves, they will not tell. But if another Vaishnava is getting suffered, and if it is a
yeah,
collective
that they cannot
suffering,
avoid.
then obviously it's a problem, na? We cannot
Yeah.
take the collective problems as a mercy, na, Mataji?
Yes,
If
Mataji.
you,
Mataji, also in the purport about non-devotees is clearly given.
yeah,
Non-devotees described as Dushkritana, miscreants, Naradama, and Maya Praharajanyana, who have lost their knowledge due to the power of illusory energy. They are called as Asat non-devotees.
correct.
Very nicely they have explained, Mataji, in the purport.
Prabhupada is really, expert. He does not want us to, think that when we were also like non-devotees only earlier, but after we took up Krishna consciousness, we think we have become elevated and all others are, waste people like that. No, we should not think like that.
Yes,
That is not
Mataji.
actually what Krishna consciousness. That is not what Prabhupada is teaching us.
Yeah. And Prithu Maharaj, this thing is very lengthy, no, Mataji. So many chapters.
Yeah,
Very interesting, I heard.
Yes.
To read it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Any other comments?